Howdy everybody, this is Bake with IronThroneCraft.com. Been a while since I uploaded a video, just been doing the stream stuff lately, which I will continue doing, but I figured some of you might want to see some of these rallies we got off during the INVASION KVK. So to start off, he's 191 billion, and he's on fire. And unfortunately, I didn't get the actual rally landing recorded, but I did get the report. So if we check that out, we see that he's got over 1 billion troops, and we killed 117 million of them. So that was a decent little hit during the invasion, and they used the dragon shield on him. And you scroll all the way down, and you see all those troops that he's got. He's got 100 million of each type tier 3. So he was running Majestic, and we popped him pretty good there. So into it now, we also rallied Arrow, as you can see here. He's 160 billion. Everybody knows Arrow. He's a beast. He took the rally as well, and I'm just going to show you, the thought process that went into it and everything else like that. So you see, we poured in, tell everybody to stack up so we can get ready for the rallies. And this INVASION KVK was a lot of fun. It was constant action. It was, it was long. It was 48 hours, which is a little bit too long in my opinion, but it was still a lot of fun because we got to rally a whole lot. And with all the, the 6 fillers, the pets, everything else new that's going on, it was a whole lot of fun. So I sped it up while we set up this rally on Arrow. And we've hit him in the past, and he's capped us. He's hit us. I don't think we ever actually got a burn on Arrow prior to this event, so we didn't really know what we were running into. We figured we were running into Siege because I had hit him in the past using archers, then infantry, then cav, and they all killed the same amount. So we knew that the leverage wasn't coming into play, which means that he's probably got Siege there. So you see test sets a rally here, and we're going to fill, and we're only filling 650k per filler. That way we can get 6 in, because it is incredibly important. Oops, low battery. But it is incredibly important in these rallies that you get 6 fillers in, especially when you're going after the big targets like that 191 billion that we burned. Arrow here is obviously quite stacked, so we're going to want to make sure that we get as many unity buffs as we can. We have to get as many stats as we can in these rallies. So you see we're a little short, but we do have 6 fillers here. So we're getting all the gear from 6 different fillers, trying to top the rally off, and then we're going to hit him. And after we hit, we're going to look at it if we burn him. We're going to look at it, check his stats, check everything else like that, and make sure that we have enough debuffs, because that's what's coming into play here, is these debuffs. And so you want to send just enough Majestic to zero out their stats, and then after that you want to stack attack after that. So you see we hit him, killed 61 million, and then sped a hero in so they couldn't enormous shield him if he wasn't online. He ended up being online and popping boost here in a minute, and you'll see that too. But you see, so we killed 60 million right there, 61 million almost. Lost the entire rally, obviously. And you see his stats here. He's got just standard stats, but you see the green on the Siege? That means he is defending with Siege, and he stacked their boost using runes. And so then you see here, 5885 troop attack debuff, 1458 defense, 1778 HP. Tells me he's running Majestic, and he's also got a decent amount of those troop stacks there. So there might be a little bit of Dark Lord in there. So what we're doing now is we're adjusting our fills and checking the report, adjusting our fills in order to get these stats zeroed. So you see now people are reporting into him. He is holding a hero, so they cannot pop an enormous shield on him. And we're going to set again here after analyzing the debuffs and everything else like that, and we're going to check and make sure that we're getting all of his boosts zeroed. Because if you don't, with this many troops, see that 512 million tier 4 Siege? And you see here, need a bit more HP debuff. That's what I'm getting at. So I went in, checked the stats, checked his HP, saw that we didn't have enough HP debuff, and so that's why you see now hit him, burn him, and let's look at this one. Speed another hero in there to make sure that he can't get shielded, and then click the wrong battle report, check that, dropped all the way down to 32 million. But he didn't pop boosts there. So at this point we're thinking he's offline. On this one, you see his stats are all the same on Siege. Scroll down, his other stats have only gone up by 100, which is from those contracts. So his alliance mates porting in next to him helped him take that rally a whole lot better because we did not get his debuff zeroed. See how we're only running 2365 HP debuff? We're not quite there. We don't have his HP debuff or his HP amount zeroed. So those contracts from his alliance mates porting in and giving him the contract boosts is what caused him to lose half of what he lost before, because we were very, very borderline on getting his stats all zeroed in the first place. So then those contracts actually increased his stats enough that it reduced his stats a whole lot. And then I say we can keep going. We got to add a little bit of Majestic, get some more Majestic in there, and get those stats zeroed. He takes another rally here, and I don't know if I have this part recorded, but he takes another rally here when all those stats increase by 400, which tells us that he is online now and popping boosts, so we're not going to keep going. But you see there, I'm looking at the report, I do the math, I see we're 150 off of zeroing his HP. Like I said, one filler switch triple mag and we blow him up. Famous last words, we didn't blow him up. He popped his boosts, and he didn't cap us, but it wasn't a good hit. So now here is Pro. A lot of you have probably seen us rally Pro in the past. Pro is always really solid at taking rallies, and got the recording going right as it landed here. But you see we killed 50 million, so he took that rally pretty well, but we only lost 1.2 million. And that's because he is running a single type defense. You see there, Archer attack 5850 with the huge Archer stats. So we sent Archers, so we didn't hit him as hard as we could have. And then we landed in and killed those T3 Archers. If we'd sent Cav, obviously we would have blown him up quite a bit. And I don't think he took another rally after this. I'm not sure. If he did, I didn't get it recorded. But if we had sent Cav right there, it would have hit him a whole lot harder. We sent triple mag in order to zero his debuffs and everything else like that. Maybe we did get another rally. And so now what we're doing is we're switching it up, and we're sending Cav. And ignore my hero types up there. Those are all wearing mixed gear, so ignore the hero types. But we did send Cav, I think. Yeah, I'm checking the troop types to make sure that I sent the right there. And then we're going to hit him again using Cav and see how he does. But Pro is sneaky. He wears single type gear, and then he switches to Maj, and then he switches from Maj to single type, and everything else like that. And so you got to be really careful, because if you hit a Majestic defense captain with a Maj rally, you're going to lose, because you're basically just, each one of you is zeroing each other's stats. So you're not going to do well at all. With a triple Maj rally, hitting somebody that's wearing triple Maj, it's going to go really poorly. So what Pro does is he swaps back and forth. And it's kind of like paper, rock, scissors here. We won paper, rock, scissors on this one. As you can see, we killed 80 million that time, and we killed 80 million because he actually didn't switch out of that Archer gear. He kept the Archer gear on. If you can, I don't know if I scroll down and show it, but he kept the Archer gear on, so the triple Maj did a whole lot better, and we sent Cav with that triple Maj. If he had swapped into Majestic gear, it would have worked out a lot better for him there. And we assumed he was going to think that we were going to, like, it's kind of like saying, you know, it's paper, rock, scissors. He throws rock, you throw rock at the same time, you're going to lose. If you're attacking, if you're defending, then you win. You switch it up, you throw scissors whenever you think he's going to change the paper. I don't know, it's paper, rock, scissors at that point, especially with somebody that knows what they're doing like Pro. Now you see Applerak here is taking rallies, and what we've discovered about Applerak is, number one, he is also using single type gear, but he is switching up his defense every time we rally him. And so it takes us a minute to notice that, because we're winning on points, so we keep going. You see we killed 72 million, we lost 4.6 million. That's a point win. But what he's doing is he's switching between his gear types. And it's kind of driving us a little bit nuts, because we can't figure out what to send at him. We are winning on points, so we continuously hit him, but we're never winning as good as we could. So that's the bottom line I'm getting at here. If you take a rally from somebody that knows what they're doing, you better shield or change up your setup after that one. Because as people found out during this Invasion KVK, the first time we hit you might not always be awesome. The second time we hit you, now we know what you got, we've seen behind the curtain, and we're going to fix it up and fill it. And when you're setting rallies, you can do the same thing. You need to check those reports, you need to look at the stats, you need to adjust your fills based upon those stats. So if you don't get their HP all the way zeroed, you need to switch it over. You need to send more Majestic, or you need to not hit anymore. You know, there are targets that are just not good targets. We did hit one person really poorly. It was Jen from Simple Mass, which is now, I believe, what, Hell's Algebra, I think is what they're called now. But we hit her the first time. She took it really, really well. But then she dropped her shield, took another one, and at that point we had the fills to perfectly zero her stats while increasing attack as much as possible, and that caused us to hit her really hard. So now I'm going to go through, I'm going to put on auras on all my dudes. This Templier guy had taken a lot of solos really well. He wouldn't take a rally, but he'd taken a lot of solos really well. And the reason he took a lot of solos really well is because he's running Archer defense. But after learning what he was wearing the previous night, I think this is the one where he kicks my ass. I think he actually kicks my ass on this one. But the previous night we learned what he was using, and so we were able to perfectly zero his stats, even using solos. And after that, then we could, beat him up pretty good. I think we actually got him while the raid monster was going on. So sorry about that, Templier. He was actually running raid monster whenever we, stacked up, and everybody hit him all at the same time using a perfectly tailored set to zero his stats. But then you see here now, I launch in my single type, my max march size, and then I switch over to my cav preset and speed it in after that. So if you're not already doing that, that's another way to increase your damage a whole lot. Is you need to have one preset. See, I only killed 5.6 million right there, so he took it incredibly well. That was a terrible hit for me. I clicked the wrong battle report and just, I guess I just wanted to look at Alvarez since it went well, and this one did not. See, he only killed 860k, so that's okay. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. But if you see here, I sent Madge because the previous night he was wearing single type defense, but then you scroll down and you see that 5k attack debuff right there. That means he's running Madge. So like I said, if you hit somebody that's wearing all majestic and you send all majestic, you're going to have a bad time. See how he almost capped me right there? The reason he almost capped me is because I hit him with majestic when he was running majestic. And the reason for that is because the last time I hit him, he was running single type. So if you're going to be trapping out there, you got to switch it up. You can't always be the same setup. If you're the same setup, you better be changing your name and everything else like that. Otherwise, we're going to learn, or the other attackers are going to learn. I mean, I have actually seen Arrow switch up what he's sending when he's hitting people in order to hit them harder. So you need to be able to do the math. You need to know how the math works on the debuffs and everything else like that, and you need to be able to figure it out. But overall, this invasion event was a huge success. I had a ton of fun. I liked that it was all the kingdoms. It was constant action. We could port to any kingdom in the game, which was awesome. Zwei from Kingdom 53, I mean, took a couple hits. I think they just got merged recently, but he took a few hits. He did extremely well in those hits, which was shocking to me that we're Kingdom 5. We've been playing for a year, and Zwei's only been playing for a few months, and he took the hits really well. So that was impressive on his end. And there was also some people from Kingdom 48, GOW. They took some hits really well. Overall, it was a ton of fun. I hope to see more invasion events like this one. There's one going right now, but they chopped it down where you're only against a few kingdoms, and surprise, surprise, Kingdom 5 and Kingdom 17 are fighting with Kingdom 1 and Kingdom 34. It's kind of who we get every single time. But hopefully you guys had fun in the invasion event. Hopefully you're having fun in the one that's going right now. Learn the math behind the game. Figure out how to do it better. Check us out. Thank you much for watching. Remember to like. Remember to subscribe. Expect more videos soon.